Hello again, guys and gals. I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Aven Colony, and today we are going to be looking at
Hello, Chancellor.
the Vanaar mission. So, our mission is to grow Vanaar into a colony that can support hundreds of citizens, manufacture exotic foods and enhancement substances from alien plant species, and then construct an Earth History Centre. So, let's get this thing underway. Now, because we're doing a campaign mission, we're going to get a series of sort of mini objectives keep popping up. They're not compulsory, they're optional, but they do give us some useful resources, so they're worth us doing. On top of that, they will also kind of give you ideas as to how to increase efficiency and productivity within your colonies, so that when you attack them in sandbox mode, you've got a better understanding of how the game works and what to put in. So let's bring up our first little mini mission.
Welcome. Your colonists have been informed of your arrival and are eager to see what their leader can do for them.
So, Vanaar is a small colony in one of the friendlier parts of Aven Prime. Water and plant life are plentiful here, and most crops grow well. First, we'll need a base of water, a supply of water, so build a water pump and place it next to your base. It's easy enough to do. So, we go into water extraction services and go to water pump, and if we zoom out, you can see the overlay here showing you all the different water spots where we could place this. If we go too far away, it'll tell us no powered construction drones in range, so we can't obviously build out here until we have a drone in range. But the darker the shade of the square, the better the water supply. This is a good spot here. 16.2 is the best we can get, so we're going to drop that in just there. And we'll speed time up. There we go. So, at the moment, you'll see insufficient power. And this is basically saying that there's not enough power getting through to this building here. It's because it's not connected, so we need to build some tunnels to actually get that connected and to allow staff to get in there and operate. There we go. And what we're also going to do is we're going to upgrade our construction drone as well. And let's upgrade it another time as well. So there we go. By upgrading our construction drone, what we've done is we've now got 3 drones, so it'll make building things a lot quicker. So let's get our next mission.
Your colony could benefit from a higher level of food output.
So they want us to build a farm. So we can choose pretty much whatever crop we want to start. Food is here in farming structures. And again, moving around, you'll see where's the best place depending on the crop. And it's not always the same place depending on what crop you've got chosen. So broccoli actually does better over here, same as barley, but other crops might not perform quite so well in the same spots. We're going to go with melons, and this seems to be a good place for melons here, 6.6. So yeah, let's go just there. And again, let's make sure it's connected. So we now have 3 drones to build things for us. There we go, and there is our farm. Now we have a Shipe message.
Hello, Governor. I wanted to remind you that the mission objectives from my team are here only to guide you. Please, do remember that these objectives are optional. As an experienced colony governor, we trust your judgment, and I urge you to build the colony however you see fit. Good luck.
So just again reiterating that these are optional missions. We don't have to do them if we don't want to. But seeing as they do give us some useful resources, they're always worth doing. So let's see what our next mission is.
We have some thoughts on how to best expand your colony.
Okay, so they want us to build a wind turbine now. So there are 3 different ways that we can generate electricity. One is solar panels. Now we have a traditional solar panel that we can build here, And we also have these ones here that came as part of the modular landing set, which created the start of this colony. These don't generate quite as much electricity, but they're useful to have when we get started. That's the first way of generating electricity. The second is to build a geothermal plant over one of these geothermal vents, and they generate a lot of energy, but they also generate a little bit of pollution as well. And the third method is to build a wind turbine. Now, the thing with wind turbines is, like the solar panels, they're completely autonomous. We don't need staff to run them. They will, however, generate less power than a solar panel, but they will generate that at a constant rate all year round, whereas solar panels will lose 50% of their generation during the winter period. So these are quite a good alternative to have. And we're going to drop in a couple of these out of the way somewhere. Let's put them just here. And we'll build 2 of those. Like so. Just speed up construction a little bit. There we go.
I think another mining facility would be a good idea.
So now we need to build a mine. Now we have a copper resource just here, and we can use this copper to generate our own supply of nanites. At the moment we have a very finite supply. We only have 155, and we're not making any more. So by making a mill, by making a mine, we can actually make our own nanites from the materials that we gather from these mines. So let's upgrade the mine. And let's also get a couple more people in there if we can. There we go. And we actually got a reward on this mission.
Your progress is satisfactory. I've been authorized to provide your colony with a small reward. Choose wisely.
So we have a choice. We can choose some nanites, we can choose rice, or we can choose some quinoa. We're going to go with the quinoa because we don't have any of that at all, and it's a useful additional food type. We're also going to start generating our own nanites, so we need to go into mining, and we need to go to nanite processing. Now we need to place our processor. So let's put that. Let's see, where can we put the nanite processor? Well, it makes sense to put it next to the mine, really, wouldn't it? So let's put it just there. And we have a winter warning. It's just letting us know that winter is coming. Farms will stop growing completely. Greenhouses will continue to grow, but at a 50% reduction. And our solar panels will produce 50% less power as well. So we need to really sort of make hay while the sun shines, so to speak. And make sure we build up a nice little surplus of food and even electricity before the winter hits us. Let's see what our next mission is. Speaking of more power, they're asking us to build a geothermal generator. So let's get that underway. Now, the first time you build anything, it always only gives you the option to build a level 1 version. So you can see here, even though we have enough nanites, we haven't built a tier 1 generator before. So once we've built one of those, and we can then build a tier 2. Something that has 3 stages, for example one of these. If we only had a tier 1, when we upgraded that to a tier 2, we would then be able to buy a tier 3 outright. But until then, we'd be limited to just one of these ones, or just one of these ones. So we'll build the geothermal generator tier 1, and then going forward we'll now be able to buy generators at tier 2, at least on this map anyway. And again, we need to make sure that this is connected. Otherwise, any power that it would generate won't get through to the colony, and we won't be able to supply staff in there, so we wouldn't be able to generate power anyway. And there we go. That's now done. Let's see what our next mission is. And here is winter. As you can see, our display froze up a little bit. You can see the ground is frozen here. Our farm is now producing 0 growth, as you can see. and our solar panels are reduced in their power output. This is why having more than one type of power source is always a good idea.
Your colony could benefit from more residential space.
Okay, so they're asking us to expand living space now. So, with living space, it's not just a case of making sure you have enough for the colonists. We already have enough for our colonists. We have 16 colonists, and our lander can support 16 people. So, in theory, we're fine. But colonists will complain if they have to walk too far to any of their jobs. So you can actually use placements like this to make them a little bit happier, so they don't have to travel quite so far to get to their placements. So this is obviously going to generate a lot of power for us, and we're going to need a lot of people in there. So it makes sense to have a little residential outpost right next to our power plant here.
Your colony could benefit from increased storage capacity.
Here we are looking a little bit pushed on storage. As you can see, we only have 4% of storage space available to us now, so we need to build a new storage unit. So that's in resource management structures. Let's go with a mini storage depot. These are quite small, easy to position wherever we want them or need them. We're going to put one just here. Actually, we'll put it just here behind our colonist outpost, just there. That'll give us a nice little boost to resource storage. There we go. And now we get to choose a reward.
Well done. I'm pleased with the progress of your colony. You may select one of the following resources.
So we can choose nanites, bread, or immigrants. We're going to go with bread, so we have a nice additional food type available to us. Let's just upgrade our water pump, make that a little bit more efficient. So here's our next mission.
Your colony looks like it could benefit from a little bit more immigration.
So yeah, we do need more people to really make this place run a little bit more efficiently, because we have not enough people to cover all of the potential jobs available. So we're going to build an immigration centre. Now, these are in spaceport buildings, and this allows colonists to arrive down from the mothership, the colony mothership in orbit. Let's place our immigration centre. Let's see, let's place it just here, where it's kind of central. And again, we need to make sure it's connected. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reroute the path. So let's get rid of these tunnels just here. There we go. As you can see, they're tearing down the tunnels we no longer need. And there is our immigration centre. Winter is over, the ground is thawing out, our farm will start producing at a good rate again. Let's see what missions we have now.
I'd like to recommend that you increase the amount of residential space in your colony.
So now they're suggesting we build a habitat. This is a much larger version of the outpost that we've just built.
We'd like you to increase the colony's population.
And they also want us to grow up to 50 colonists as well. So, let's go into residential structures. This is what we built last time, the residential outpost. Now we're going to build a habitat. As you can see, it's a much larger structure. So we'll plonk one of these down just here.
Hey there.
There we go. And let's make sure we've got a good number of staff in here to get colonists down. So let's go with 100% efficiency and go from 3 colonists per trip to 9 per trip. We have a new mission as well.
We have some thoughts on how to improve the air quality in your colony.
So we're quickly getting to a point where the air inside our hermetically sealed colony will turn foul if we're not careful. The geothermal generator in particular will pollute the air fairly quickly. Place an intake fan to help filter the external atmosphere and bring oxygen into your colony. It's a good idea to place these as close to your geothermal generator as you can. So, we have a nice little slot just here, look. Let's put our fan just there. So, you can see from the overlay here, we have pretty good air quality. We have a nice bit here from our sort of main unit from the landing creator. That's our environmental control unit there. Again, we can remove that later and replace it, once we have something else in place. That's not an issue. But you can see certain things will have a negative impact. So our iron facility, our copper mine here is having quite a big impact, as is our nanite production just below it. Our drone is having a bit of an impact. Our farm is even having a little bit of an impact. And our geothermal plant is definitely having a big impact. So if we were to leave this too long, then these would start to see big decreases in the general air quality all over the plant. But in these areas in particular would start to drop quite drastically. These air fans will help to prevent that and actually reverse that. Give us a much better looking air quality. So there we go.
Your colony could really benefit from a trade facility.
So now we need to get some trade going. Now, I'm actually going to build another drone management hub because I want to expand our facility a little bit. So I'm going to build that just there. Should have built this at a higher tier, really. Never mind. And let's build some path along. Now, we have the nanites to be able to build all the way over here if we wanted to, but we don't have the range because our other drone unit hasn't come online just yet. So let's build those first. And once this actually has people in it, like now, we'll actually have a much bigger range of where we can actually build. So you can see we can now build over here before we hit somewhere where we're a bit blocked. That's about as far as we can go. But that'll be fine. So I'm going to build my trade hub up here. So let's get a trade hub in. This is again in spaceport buildings. And we need 36 nanites. We have 35... 36, there we go. And we're going to put the trade hub just there. And we'll upgrade this again if we can afford it. No, we can't, not yet. So we need 10 nanites, we only have 5. Let's speed time up. Here's a winter warning coming in. There we go. You can see our display start to freeze up soon. Slow time down a bit. And we have 2 new missions.
Your colony could benefit from a few upgrades.
So they're asking us to do some upgrading. So this will help bring in a lot more power from our geothermal generator by upgrading it. And the other mission, what's that?
I need your help to balance our supplies on the colony ship.
Okay, so now we have the trade hub, we can actually do some trading with the colony ship itself. So it's asking us if we trade 100 melons, we'll get 120 porridge back. That's a pretty good trade, so we'll do that. It gives us a different food substance to what we already have, because if you just feed the colonists the same thing over and over again, they will start to get sick of that and they will complain about it. So a bit of variety is always a good thing. can see our drone display is freezing. Winter is definitely here again. There's the ground freezing up. And the reason I built this over here is because I want a nice big area for storage. Storage is going to be a real issue throughout a lot of this. So let's put in a storage facility just there.
Hey, there's a cargo pod nearby. I think you should pick it up.
Okay, well we've already built a second one of these, so we should get a complete on that almost straight away. And now we need to pick up this cargo pod. So let's allocate a drone to come and collect this. This is actually outside just of the range of our original pod just over here. So one of these two drones will have to come and collect it, which will happen as soon as this is done. And this will give us obviously a nice bump in our supplies. We'll get 150 corn, some nanites and some rice as well. So here we go, you can see it's interacting with the cargo drone there. And we have some extra supplies. You'll find quite a few of those dotted around the map. There's another one all the way up there, look. I think there's another one way over here somewhere as well. If memory serves me right. There's one there. So there are a few dotted around. There might even be one down here somewhere, possibly. There are a few dotted around depending on the map that you're on. What's our new mission?
I've consulted with Commissioner Veronica, and I'd like to make a few recommendations as to how to best serve your people.
Okay, so they want us to build a battery. Now, we are going to end up in a situation where we're not generating enough power and during the winter period because of the negative impact of winter on our solar panels, etc. So what we can do is we can actually build batteries and then you store up some of that surplus that we're generating in the sunny months, and then switch those batteries on in winter if we need to top up our power levels. So let's build a battery, and I'm going to be quite clever with the placement on this one if I can be. Can we get rid of some of this stuff? We've got some storage modules that we no longer need, so let's replace this and this one and this, and we don't really need this. And do we need this? Well, it's fully loaded with stuff at the moment. This, how many people do we have in here? Let's fill that. And let's fill that. And now let's recycle this as well. And what the hell, we'll recycle that as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to bring a pathway down like that. That'll link these back up. We're going to build the battery just here. And the reason I built the battery just there is because just here I'm going to put something else.
I'd like to facilitate a trade arrangement.
Okay, we have a trade mission. Let's take that on. I want to export 160 rice. We have 119, so we are going to have to switch crop over here and start growing rice. That's barley. That's rice. There we go. Just to make sure that we can meet the demand. Let's upgrade that battery. And here is our new mission.
We have some thoughts on how to best expand your colony.
Build a lightning tower. Now these are giant lightning rods and will attract any lightning within a particular radius, and rather than hitting our our buildings and causing damage, they will strike the lightning tower instead. On top of that, any lightning strikes that are absorbed by our towers will also be funneled into our batteries and charge our batteries for us as well, which is always a useful thing. We're going to upgrade the battery even more. There we go. How are we doing over here on storage? Plenty of storage right now. That's good. What's our next mission?
We have some thoughts on how to best expand your colony.
Okay, they want us to build 3 additional structures of any type, not including tunnels. So one of the things I'm going to do is, in this space, I'm actually going to build a police drone unit so that we can get some police patrols out there. We have another new mission.
Here's your next population growth
And
target.
they want us to reach 100 colonists. That's fine. We are going to put in another residential structure, and this time we're going to go with a skyscraper. I'm going to put that in just there. A nice big residential unit which will feed people into all of these jobs in this surrounding area like this. And once this is built, we can actually get rid of this. There we go. What's this insufficient power warning for? Mini storage it's this, because we no longer have that connected to anything. That's fine. We can actually get rid of that as well. So, because we're deleting structures, it's actually removing them from our progress. We can work around that. So what I can do now is I can actually drop in some pathways like this, because they love to complain if there aren't any proper pathways for them. There we go, we've got a nice little loop built there now. And let's put in an air filter in just here, just to help improve the air quality. So you can see now the negative effect is having in some places where the air quality is getting substantially lower than in others. So we're going to drop an air filter in that gap just there. That'll help improve the quality of air in this region, which will then start to filter through the rest of the colony as well. We need 2 more structures, so let's put an air filter in up here as well. Now we can go with an air filter tier 2. We've got a nice little gap here, so we'll drop that in there. We can do with some residential over here as well to supply these 2 businesses. So what else can we put in? Let's put in a habitat up here somewhere. Let's put one just there. There we go. We have a reward available to us now.
Well done. I'm pleased with the progress of your colony.
So
you
we
may
choose.
select one of the following resources.
We could use potash, nanites, or immigrants. We're going to go with the immigrants because we need to reach 100 and that will help. Where is our immigration centre? It's still fully staffed. We can lower the requirement on that now.
Your colony could benefit from a few upgrades.
So they're suggesting that we upgrade our farm. This will make it produce more and at a better rate as well. So we get an extra tile. There we go, and let's upgrade it all the way. Get another 2 tiles on top of that as well. There we we go. So a much better farm in terms of size now.
We have a new trade mission available. Maybe it could benefit your colony.
Okay, so they're asking us to export some broccoli. So now we're going to change our crop here to broccoli. We need to accept that trade. Let's pull up the trade menu. There we go, and we'll get some soda in return from the colony ship there. And what's our other mission?
Hey, Chief. I got a special objective for you.
Okay, they want us to build a research center. So I'm going to build that over here. Because this is pretty big as well. Same size as the skyscraper. So if we plonk that just there, and again we can make sure that that's fully connected like that. Now let's start choosing some research. Let's get more people in here. There we go. That'll speed up how quickly we can do our research. And they're going to ask for certain things, so let's start selecting those straight away, just to kind of give us a little bit of a heads up. They're the most things that they're most likely going to ask for. Cerulean glow they're definitely going to ask about, and then I think they're going to ask about xenoglow and possibly something else as well, so we'll make sure we're covered in that respect.
Vori has authorized me to give you a special
And there we go, you
mission.
see they're asking for cerulean glow. So we're researching how to make it, and we are going to have to actually make it at some point in the not too distant future. So let's get a couple of greenhouses up and running to get the ingredients that we need. Now cerulean glow needs Antari and Xenosage. So we go to farming structures. Let's go to a greenhouse over here, and we want Antari. We can get decent amounts over here, 6.2 just there. 6.8 just there. Let's put Antari in just there. And what about Xenosage? Get 4.9 just there. Alright, so let's get the Antari in first of all. We'll take a slight hit on that, we'll drop it just there, and then we'll put the Xenosage next door to that, like so. And we'll just accelerate time. Winter is coming, and are we going to dip below our power reserves? We are. I was hoping we would, so now I can show you how to deal with this. So we have a battery. It's generated, or stored, a little bit of power. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. So what we're going to do is go into colony control and go to power and policies, and we're actually going to turn on battery power. So this will actually bring us back up to the level that we need, but it will start to eat up the units of power that we have in here. So we have 4.27 so far, and if we speed time up a bit and check in again, you can see we are starting to use up the units of energy that are stored in there. However, if we get a lightning strike, which I'm really hoping we are, it'll hit the tower and transfer that energy into our battery. So we could be absolutely fine here. We could be in a world of trouble. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. We have a new mission.
I need your help to balance our supplies on the colony ship.
Now they want us to export some barley. And we'll get some candy in exchange for that. So, we need to change our crop again. It's not going to grow anything just yet because it's winter, and farms don't grow in the winter. but we will be ready. How's our power supply looking? A bit low, but we should be okay. We're about halfway through the winter period. Still waiting for the right research to come through. The storage is starting to fill up as well, so let's upgrade that. You can see we are now exporting some of the barley that we already had in storage. And winter is over. So our battery mode will turn itself off in just a moment, once winter finally thaws out. And it's a referendum year.
It's time for a referendum election.
So we have a year for the candidates to vote, and we need to have more than 50% or higher the vote to stay in power at the end of the year. What's our new mission?
I have a request for you
It's
from
about the
inhabitants
referendum.
of the colony.
So we'll get some updates posted throughout this next sole year, telling us how we're doing, and if there's any areas that we could potentially improve. We're all right just now. How is our mine? Let's upgrade the copper mine a bit more, and we'll upgrade the nanite processor as well. Try and speed up the rate that we actually generate our own nanites. And there you go, see, battery mode is automatically deactivated because our power is now higher than required.
Your colony would benefit from increased manufacturing capabilities.
So having learnt how to make cerulean glow, they now want us to actually go ahead and make it. So we need to build a chemical plant. Where can we put that? Let's have a look. We have enough nanites to build it, and I'm thinking over here is going to be a good location. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a gap so that we can drop in some connecting corridors like that, and let's drop in another air filter. In fact, actually, let's remove this intake fan and replace it with an air filter, which would be much more efficient. There we go. Referendum update. We're at 84% of the vote, which is more than we need, a lot more. Complaints are, I need a place to go and have some fun, there's no place to buy what we need, and there's too much crime. So we can actually resolve the crime issue a little bit by improving our drone hub. Let's upgrade that to tier 2, and let's upgrade it to tier 3 as well. There we go, that'll help.
A new mission is available.
Now we should begin farming the required ingredients for Cerulean Glow, Hentari and Xenosage. Way ahead of you on that one. But we do need to actually start making. We'll upgrade our chemical plant to improve its performance. We'll make sure we've got a few workers in there. Yep, more than enough. And let's tick Cerulean Glow there. We'll also make some corn syrup as well. Power is actually below what we need. That's not good. But we do have a geothermal vent over here. So let's put in a second power supply. And now that we've built one of these, we can actually go ahead and build a tier 2 straight away. Let's get that connected. There we go. And we have a referendum update.
I think you're on track to win this
Still at
referendum,
84%.
But here's the feedback I've compiled
Same
from
complaints.
citizens.
Hello, Chief. I have a new opportunity for you.
And now, having made Cerulean Glow, they want us to trade it, which is kind of what we expected. We've almost finished our trade for this, so as soon as that's done, we'll then trade for the Cerulean Glow. Let's get some more staff up here, so that we can make sure that this runs a bit more efficiently. And let's upgrade this to tier 3 as well. Okay, so that trade's complete. So let's do the trade for the cerulean glow. There we go.
I'd like to facilitate a trade arrangement.
And they also want us to import some gold bloom as well. We're a little way off that yet. We've still got the cerulean glow to export. We're going to build a second lightning tower over here. Defense buildings, there we go. So you can see that this new section here is outside of the range of protection from the other lightning tower. So if we drop that just there, that'll cover everything in that range. Actually, we could move it up a bit. Let's put it here. It doesn't need to be against a pathway or a tunnel. So let's stick it just here. And we'll put a battery behind that as well. Always good to have extra battery storage just in case we do have a power issue. The more battery storage we have, the better.
Good news. Your citizens seem happy with your performance.
We dropped
and I
ever so
think you have
slightly
a
in the
good
vote there,
chance to win this
83%. It's still way
referendum.
more than we need, so we don't have to worry about anything. Oh, we just had a lightning hit over here. We missed it. You see, look, our tower was hit. But you can see here it generated an extra 9.6 units of stored power into one or more of our energy batteries. There we go. So this one has very little stored in it. This one should be pretty much maxed out by now. Yeah, not far off. So, are we going to see a lightning strike? Kind of hope we do. It's a really cool little pretty effect. Our storage is almost full, so let's add in another storage depot. Or can we upgrade this one a bit more? Well, let's do both. Let's upgrade and drop in additional storage as well. Go straight for a tier 3 storage this time. There we go. We'll actually go for another one as well. No powered drones in connection range, and we can't drop one just there, but we can drop one just there. Nah, we'll be fine with just that one just for now. I really want to see a lightning strike. Come on. There's lightning over there. We don't have a tower over there. I'm hoping the storm comes over this way. Somehow I don't think it will. Oh, there's a storm over here as well, so this tower might get hit. It's possible. And the storm's breaking. That's it. Winter is almost over. So our first trade is done. Let's do the gold bloom trade now. And we won the referendum.
Congratulations on your referendum
82%
victory,
of the
boss.
vote. So we dipped slightly again, but we still have more than we needed. And we got 6 new social policies out of that as well. Let's take a quick look at those policies. So you can see now we have a whole load of different policies available to us. We're going to turn on drone repair. This will cost us a little bit of nanites every sol, but will allow drones to automatically repair any damage that we sustain, which can happen through lightning strikes and also through other things as well, such as shard storms or even creep attacks and so on and so forth. So we'll turn that on. And this seems like a good place for us to actually end this episode, having won the referendum. So In the next part, we'll complete and conclude our run here on the Vanaar colony. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on Aven Prime very soon.